Am I recording? Yes, I am. Okay. So we're going to be starting a new game today from scratch. I have no idea. Oh. I'm going to be starting a game from the very ground up. I accidentally said scratch. No pun intended there. But, God, this is an awful intro. But we're going to be making a game. And we're going to start it from the ground up. And I honestly have no clue what this game is going to be. So we're gonna find that out together. I hope the quality wasn't extremely bad. I don't feel like throwing this away. So if it's bad, I'm sorry. Hope it's fixed now. My mic was a bit close to my mouth, so. So, here is our character so far. We're gonna make him a knight. By the way, about Among Us and Scratch, I'm giving up on that. It's just not really going anywhere, and I don't really enjoy making it. And I'm sorry, but if anybody used it as a tutorial, then you can find lots of better tutorials on making things with similar controls. I don't think there are any tutorials on the Among Us movement though that I did. So you can copy that part because that's really one of the only parts that I did well. So I might have it come back eventually, but if it does, it won't be for a while. But I do hope you guys still stick around to watch my videos because it really helps this channel. And yeah, right now I'm working on our character. Uh, and that should be it. I'm gonna fix this because it does not look good. And I'm going to make these 2x2. And 1 pixel apart. There we go. Yep. Here we go. Now we're just going to add color. It's not going to be that hard since it's armor, so we just pick a base tone. Nope, that's not what that's going to be. But we pick a base tone for our metal, then make it a bit darker. And now we just pick white. My voice sort of died there, but we pick white and do the highlights. We're going to add that here. We forgot to add shading in some places, so we're going to fix that. Like on this sword, we forgot to add shading. And right here, we forgot to add a dark. We forgot to add dark. It's a shadow. That's what it's called. But here we go, and now we're going to add color to it with a sort of red bandana sort of thing. And now we're going to add light tones. And they're not going to be very shiny just because obviously it's cloth. It's not going to be shiny. And yeah, I think that's pretty good. Now we just duplicate that onto another sprite. There we go. Now what we do with this one is every area of the sprite that we want to include as being an object that we want to collide with walls. So So that's what we did there. Now we're just going to delete all the extra stuff. So this is our character hitbox. So let's just name it player hitbox. Player hitbox. There we go. Now we're going to call this player textures. We could even hollow this out if we wanted to just have this, but that's completely useless and extra work, so we don't really need it. First of all, what we have to do is get a one green flag clicked forever, and go to player hitbox. So now, let's see, there should be an area where we can grab the hitbox, move it over here. The player always goes to it. So now we write movement script. When this is clicked forever, we're going to make a block and call it gravity. Or you can just call it grav for short. That's not what I meant to do. So now we take this, and we need to make a variable. Nobody uses my variable. So we're gonna call this yv. What this does is that's how fast our character will go down. So when this is clicked, set it to 0, and this, change it by 1, and change this by grav. I'm gonna make that -1. We're gonna change that by yv. So now we're also gonna have this go to 0, 0. So as you can see, the longer we're in air, the faster we fall. Now what we do is we add floor, and we're gonna call it level. Okay. Sorry, I was laying down and my neck was. I started slipping, so I had to sit up real quick. Now we're gonna make our floor real quick. We're gonna have to set this to 0, 0 because for some reason Scratch likes to place this wherever it wants. I'm gonna change the color to black or something. But yeah, also we're gonna set the ghost effect. So set ghost effect, where is that? Here it is. Set ghost effect. So 100, that's color effect. Ghost effect to 100. And now it's just our player that we see. I mean our player textures. So now we need to put an if statement in our gravity script for when our character is touching the ground. So if touching level, we're also going to add a note here. You don't have to do this, but I'm going to write this real quick. Just gravity. And we're going to do if touching level. We're going to set this to 0. So we're just going to go through. So now what we do is repeat until. Did I run this with that screen refresh? I have to. No. You have to run it with that screen refresh. Sorry. Or else it'll act really weird. Repeat until. Not touching level. We're going to change our y by 1. So now, when we hit this, we're just going to stop. Now, we can't do jumping as just change the y by something. What we have to do is get an if statement. Gotta put that under here. If we keep it in this, because it's always touching the level. It's not always touching the level, but when it is touching the level, because most of the time it will be touching the level, then so now we get a if key pressed. We're going to change that to up arrow and set this to. Now we're going to add another input. We're going to call it jump height. I think I spelled it right. Good. Jump height. We don't need this actually. So now we're going to set our jump height to 15. And now we can jump, but only when we're touching the ground. If you can hear me tapping the button, I'm just holding down the button right now. And as you can see, I'm not flying off, so that's good. Now we need to add side movement. For that, I'm going to try something that I don't normally do. I saw a tutorial on movement, and I'm just loosely following this to the best of my ability. Also changing some stuff just to be more, just to be easier to understand. And we might do friction. Okay, side movement speed. I'm going to set that to 7. And friction, 0.7. So now, I'm going to make another variable and call it xv, which stands for x velocity, and yv stands for y velocity. So now we're going to set.
Asher, come here, please.
I'll be right back, guys. Okay, I'm back. So now we're going to set this to key right arrow pressed times side movement speed. We're going to multiply it by friction. Oh, it won't go there. Sweetie. Huh. I'm confused. Will it fit in an and? No. Okay. I need to go get something real quick, so I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I found out what I'm supposed to do. So it's keep left arrow pressed times side movement speed plus this exact same thing, except we have to multiply side movement speed by -1. And theoretically, they're both sets of right arrow. They should be left arrow. And we're still not moving. We have to do plus XV. So we grab this. Oh, I put that in the wrong part. XV. And now we should move. Yeah, that's right. So now we need to. We're gonna try two things to see if these work. So we're gonna do change X by XV. That's really good. Except we do go a bit fast. We're gonna do set X too. Yeah, now it's change. But we do go a bit faster with change. So we're gonna change the side movement speed to 5. So now we have jumping and now we do have one problem. So yeah, now I'm following a tutorial because I do not know what to do. I'm gonna change some stuff right now. In case you're wondering, the The tutorial is by a really good Scratch tutorial YouTuber who I really recommend, who goes by the channel name of Funnut. Capital FUNUT in all caps. So go check out his channel because he makes really good tutorials. So what we're going to do is we're going to do what he does because he does this a lot better. So we're going to put this back. That isn't there. So we're going to change this by abs of x velocity divided by x velocity times -1. So abs of x of it's lagging, so I'm just going to pause that. So abs of xv divided by xv times -1. So we're going to -1 and xv. So now, what happened? Huh. Oh, because that's x velocity. Whoops. We need that to be y velocity. And that doesn't do anything either. What? Huh. Do the exact same thing they're doing. Change y velocity by gravity. Is it because I have this in here? I'm going to take that out. That was the problem. We're going to put this down here and set y velocity to. We're going to add a times jump height right here. Again, this code is credit to the YouTuber Funnut. So times jump height. Key up arrow pressed and abs of y velocity times y velocity. So what we can do is we already did that, so and we need an equals 1. That is not a 1. 1. Okay. And jumping should work now. Or not. It's a -1. So And now we have our jumping, our movement, friction, and now we need. So now we're going to edit our level. I'm going to demonstrate something. So this and this is what I need. So as you can see, that's something we already did, I guess. But there is some. What the? As you can see, boom. But if we walk into the side of a wall, we go to the very top. And obviously, that's. Oh, somebody's calling me. I will be right back. Okay, I am back. So now we're gonna fix this little problem that we have with walls. I don't know what happened the first time I walked into that wall. That was really weird. But here we go. So we just have to duplicate this. And then we throw out a ton of stuff. I'm gonna change this to change X by. We're gonna change all of this to XV. And now we should have a good wall collision. Yep, as you can see, good wall collision. And I will be doing quite a bit. This video might be a bit long, but I just want to start off a bit. The next episode, I believe, will be animations. My voice cracked a bit there. I'm gonna sit up because the way I was sitting, my neck was bending, so that might cause my voice to sound a bit off. Okay. I'm just gonna scrub through. We're gonna make a new one called slope. Again, I'm probably gonna add the link to the tutorial I followed in the description. Otherwise, that'd be kind of weird. Because this is not my code. Some of it is, not all of it. I'll set this to 8. We're also going to have to make a variable called slope. So we're going to grab a set slope to 0. Repeat until equals slope equals -4. No, is that an 8? I can't tell. I'm just going to go through until he has a close view. Yeah, -8. Okay, we're going to grab an OR. We're also going to do something that he's doing right here. He sets this to slope times -1, which is literally just 8, -8. I just dragged that somewhere, so we're gonna have to. This is playing, so it's gonna be a bit laggy. Or touching level.
Then what we want to do is change y by 1.
Change y by 1. And change slope by -1.
Then what we can do is we can grab this if touching level, and once this executes,
He grabs all of this, puts it right here, and now we're going to test. Why are we jumping? I'm not pressing any buttons. Huh. Oh, not touching level. Now we're walking into a wall and jumping. What is happening? As you can see, I can't jump over, but if I start walking into the wall... What did I do wrong? If touching level, be until not touching level, abs. I got that right. Must be something wrong with this. I'm gonna have to look through this, so I'm just gonna stop this real quick, and when I come back, I'm gonna fix the problem. Okay, I think I found the problem. I was not watching the tutorial very much, so I have to change y by slope here. And hopefully that'll fix my weird jumping problem. Yep, and as you can see, we cannot jump over this. It's running a bit slow because all the stuff it has to calculate, all these variables. As you can see, I can't. Also, there's a thing called turbo mode in Scratch, and it's just when you start playing the project extremely fast. But I don't really recommend using it because it's not very... Well, we can't get up here, so we're going to have to lower this a little bit. We can't get back up here, so we're going to add a little sort of like table thing. Not table, just a little step. And we're going to add a slope just to make sure our slopes work. Does our slope detection work? Yep, slopes work. Wall collision works. Floor collision, ceiling collision. Collision works. And that'll be all for part 1. Expect a part 2 very soon. I might even upload it today.